בוקר טוב, ברוך השם, אנחנו נמצאים באוף קי, לא, און קי, את הכהנים, יש לנו ברוך השם, רב זאב, כמה ימים, אנחנו כל יום זה חשוב לנו, והרב צבי, הבית מדרש שלו, הרש, צבי הרש, he's not at all harsh, he's a good man, and we're going to learn about, I don't mind if I don't get to other bays because I'll do it in other bays. But Shmaryahu, we struggle to get other olives. We'll work on it. Tomorrow is the Chidah, and that's other.
Oh, wow.
It's okay. We're good with that. Now, אני מתחיל את השיר, איך אומרים, בזכות ביתי, אשתי, שזה היורצייט של הסבא בבא, her great grandmother.
Sababa?
Yes, that's it. Braina Bas Yosef Levi, Allah HaShalom. As he הייתה Pretoria, the northern Transvaal in South Africa, and the truth of the matter is they called her Nach because she had a lot of Nachas from her grandchildren, including my Rebbetzin.
So
And
they called her Nach?
They call her Nach. And she took a great gaiva in the fact that this is my wife's short little obit, no generation gap. She הייתה, כל נכד אצלה הייתה חברה, ידידה. No, הייתה best friend.
Best friend?
Well, that's interesting. My father, Olav Shalom, used to tell me that you and I are not best friends.
Right.
He used to tell me that.
That's not the tough kid of a father.
Yeah, he told me that. Yeah. Which is between you and me, right. He was my best friend. Yeah. Anyway, and confidant.
That's what he told you about best friends. Interesting.
Yeah. Well,
he used to told his son-in-law at Foyer when they got married. They were very close as Talmidim. The Rebbe and Talmud. He told them at the Seder, you cannot do Hashem.
Listen, you have to, Reb Zev, with all kavod, you have to say it b'shem omro. You just saw it in the Mishpacha magazine.
Mishpacha magazine, right? Said it.
Right. And the reason I know is Alan Chester Foyer was a classmate of mine. Alan Chester, Avram Chaim. Really? You have no idea.
I must tell you, no humbleness is not say that in the article. His name was Aaron Chester.
No, but Alan Chester.
Alan Chester.
The reason I'm going to tell you about it, when we were together in BTA, he ran for GO president, and he lost by a few votes in his junior year. And Hashkacha Protis, if he would have been elected president, he would have gone to the senior year. He was on his way, always had an attaché case. He was a Harvard man. You could see, that's the way, we knew he was destined in that way. But over summer, as you saw in the article, Baruch Hashem, he got kidnapped by Tells, along with another classmate, Mordechai, Mark Greenberg. And I think there was a rhyme from Chicago, a rhyme that also you might know if I mentioned Chicago. Rabbi Ryan's son also was one of the guys who landed to Tells instead of BTA, where I was. Anyways, Avram Chaim Foyer, very chashuv, Tehillim, Geras Agra, Geras Ramban.
And don't forget Kinnis.
And Kinnis, sure, absolutely. I'm not going to lament forgetting that. I'm going to do that. Anyway, I'm still in the middle of my great grandmother-in-law. She was a mentor. She did a lot of chesed in Petersburg. I think they also.
Where was Petersburg?
That's northern South Africa, northern Transvaal, and of course she went to Joburg and eventually to Cape Town. But they did a lot of chesed. She said they hosted Chaim Weitzman and a whole bunch of pre-Israel Spoi Poloi who came to South Africa. The Panovich Rav said about South Africa that exactly. First of all, they were mostly Litvisher Yidden, and in terms of how eventually it could be he could able to be very, very successful in his endeavors when he would want to collect monies for the yeshiva. Now, she also did Masim Tovim. She had a great Emunah and Bitachon, and the Neshamas on Aliyah.
Amen.
What she said, the Heilig and the Neshamas on Aliyah, and Amen. Thank you. We're going to start. Well, you know what? I'll mention the other yards. I just mentioned them. We won't go through them, and we have to say the Tehillim. Rabbi Alexander Moshe Ben Tzvi Lapidos, Talmud Lapidos, the Talmud of Rabbi Yisrael Salanter, and then there's Rabbi Yosef Yoel Ben Yaakov Aaron Halprin from Stefan. Okay. The beautiful thing about a lot of these yard sites is you don't really know them. We are literally, I say, Machaya Mason.
Where do you find them?
Where do I find them? I have my sources. Like Shmayo, I'm not going to give up all my sources.
Where did you dig them up? Sorry.
I dig them up. My Rebbe, and it's in Adar, we say it's Reb Giggle, but it's Reb Google. Anyway, so we're going to say the Tehillim.
You didn't say what happened last night with the soldiers or anybody else?
Yes, that's a good point. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem, I have nothing to report.
There was
Thank
something
you.
that flashed this morning.
What?
I saw something flash on my screen
Uh-oh.
this morning. You didn't see that?
No, I didn't.
I don't know. I thought I saw something.
Tyler Pearson?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. But you know something, if I don't get it, I'll use it for tomorrow.
IDF announces the death of Shimon Shlomov.
Shlomo. Okay, well, then Shlomo's on Aliyah, and
Yeah.
we're going to give a...
Simon Shlomov, yeah.
Yeah. Where's he from? See, that's what I look. I look up how old he was and where he's from. Not so pashut. Yeah.
Kiryat Bialik.
Yeah. Okay. And I thought, you know, when you ask, I try not to say if I don't get. I usually don't find it, but they actually announce it during davening.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. This isn't when they already tell the Nebuch the family in the middle of the night.
Cleared for publication.
You're right. Entirely Pirsum. Okay, so we're doing Tzadik Dalet, and I'm going to start off with a shir that I don't know if you ever really knew it, but it's a very famous shir. El nekamos Adonai, El nekamos Sophia, Inasa Shofet Aretz, Ashev Kemul Agayim, Hashem, Yeshua, Alam Chaver Chasech Hasela, LaHashem, Yeshua, Alam Chaver Chasech Hasela, LaHashem, Yeshua, Alam Chaver Chasech Hasela, LaHashem, Yeshua, Alam Chaver Chasech Hasela, Ad Masai Rishon Adonai, Ad Masai Rishon Yalosu, Yabiu Yidabru Osok Yisamru Kol Polei Oven, B'chad Neidak V'nechas Yanu, Amon Leger Yaru Gvisam Yiratzechu Ay, V'yom Lo Yiro Adonai V'lo Yovin Elohei Yaakov, Binu Barim Bam Am Geskil Masai Taskilu, Dei Ozen Halo Yishmaim Yotzer Ayin Halo Yabit. Yishmaim Yotzer Ayin Hayose Goyim Halo Yachich Molam Yodam Das, and Lo Yodei Machshavos Adam Ki Hema Hevel. Ashrei Gerash Etas Benyo, Tros Kazam Daily, Ashkidu Limi Meira, and Yikari Larissa Shachas, Kilo Yitosh, Hashem Mamo, Kilo Yitosh, Hashem, Nakalasa, Yazo. Ki Atzelik Yeshu Yishbat Bechol V'Kol Yishmalim. Mikam liyam reim li yisot zelim mikol yamin. Lule Adonai Yisrael B'kimat Shachna Tuma Nafshi. Im amarti mataragli Chastecha Hashem Yisadeni. Okay.
You're making that up on the spot.
No. I'm totally off tune, but you don't know Im amarti? Im amarti mataragli mataragli Hastacha Hashem Yisadeni. Im amarti mataragli mataragli Hastacha Hashem Yisadeni. You didn't really know the Baruch Shalom Hebrew Kirby.
Well, you know.
Yagdul al nefesh tzadik b'dam naki v'shil. He had a name miskabel hey Yisrael because he Yosef Elim es onam grosam yitzmisem Adonai Eloheinu.
It's good you picked a short capital.
Acheinu
Beis Yisrael.
Acheinu Kol Beis Yisrael Anasunim Besora Sorabu Bashivya Ben Bayamu Ben Bayama Babasha Amakal Yirachem Yosiyah Mitzara Ve'revacha Meyafel V'gola Uvizman Korim. No more man, that's not good.
Like it's big tinus on you.
Huh?
I have big tinus on you.
And what do we do now?
It's gonna make you're making it harder for me to leave out the show.
Huh.
They enjoy
Oh,
it so much.
well, Mitzvah Shem.
We can add you to the list. You can listen to the broadcast.
We broadcast it, actually. Anyway, Alexander Moshe ben Tzvi Lapidos nolad ב-1899 ונפטר ב-1906. היה תלמיד של רבי ישראל סלנטה, מחבר דברי אמס. התארס בגיל 12. והתחתן בגיל 13. נסע לסלנט בגיל 14 ללמוד אצל רב צבי הרש ברוידי ורבי ישראל סלנטה. היה מגיד שיר, רבי ישראל סלנטה אז היה מגיד שיר בסדר נזיקין. בגיל 17 שירת קרב בכל מיני מקומות, וב-1866 שירת קרב ברוסין, ב-40 שנה עד פטירתו. רבי יוסי יואל בן יעקב אהרון הלפרין מסטפן, נולד ב-1685, נפטר ב-1770, היה גאון בתורה, נגלה ונסתר. למרות התנגדות, בתחילה היה מתלמידיו הראשון של הבש. אז אנחנו נמשיך את השיר. Okay, you also.
While I was harmonizing with you earlier, it reminded me that my grandchildren used to call me Tuba.
Yeah, I couldn't help stop laughing. That's very good. Boom, ba, 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 ba. Okay. Oh yeah, I got the red. I have the umbrella for a reason. Right. There's so many things I gotta carry. Let me just open up. Uh-oh. Come on. That's it. I have to coax it. Okay. There's the satchel. That's so it doesn't get wet.
Yeah, the Mashinka?
Yeah, the Mashinka. Thank you very much. Okay, have a wonderful day. Yom Tov. Okay. Okay. It's a little difficult here, balancing all the things. Let's try to get here. Okay, I'm sorry. Really difficult over here. Okay. Sorry. Okay. We wish a refuah shlema to the Ira, Sarah, Vaspreda Chana, and of course to all our Chayalei Pshuim. You have to learn the Chofetz Chaim, and then maybe we'll get back to the what Shmayahu prepared for other days. Ve'im hamasaper mukzak l'rabim kilo yisa pnei ish. If the person is stubborn and he won't accept musar, that kol asher yomar shelo b'fnei chavero oto yidaber b'fanav. Let's say he's a person who likes to say lashon hara, and he will say it in front of everybody. V'lo yagur b'fnei ish. He's not intimidated by anyone. The hexi gam kein b'toch hamo asher lo yidaber rak emes. Oh, I'm sorry. This is completely the opposite. We're talking about a person who has a heter. Here it says, if he's mukzak ravim, that he was not going to be intimidated by anyone, and everything that he says is true, even if he says it privately. Lo yagur b'fnei ish, and he's not afraid of anyone. The hexit gam kein b'toch hamo asher lo yidaber rak emes, and he's known only to tell the truth. Matar l'saper anashim dvar avla she'osar l'chavero. In other words, he's allowed to tell someone about someone who really is mukzak to do averos. V'yodea bo shelo yikabel tochakoso. And that's where I meant that the person he's talking about would, one of the 7 factors like the to'elet, one of them is that you have to give him reproof. You have to give him tochacha beforehand, but he won't accept it. Afilu shelo ba'ape tova. So then we mentioned that one of the heters is that you should do it barabim. But if the person has all these features, characteristics, he doesn't even have to do it in front of 3. Kikli ish bazeh hashomim lo yachsheduhu l'chonef l'shakrim. They won't suspect that the reason that he's saying it privately is because he's afraid of the fawning the person they're talking about. Rakshahu miskave mekane le'emes. He really has the ultimately Hashem's interests at hand. L'azor l'asher Hashem lo, and maybe to get back something that's stolen for l'to eles. Uleganot hamaasim haraim, and to rebuke and to shame the bad acts b'fnei kol. Ach bezeh. Still, however, it's not a blank heter. You don't have a blank check here. Shelo yachasru bezer kol hapratim hanal. What we talked about, the 7 features. Kilo chasarnu mehem rak haprat de alpitalso. But in this case, the only thing that's really missing is the fact that we're not doing it publicly. This is very interesting. The shavin yachad din sipur lashon hara al dvar avon shmeinan l'mechavero, the sipur lashon hara al dvar beinan l'makom. When it comes to talking about ganus, to defame someone, if you're doing it, if you're talking about lashon hara, it's not only things that are between Hashem and man and Hashem, but also between man and his fellow man. They're both equal. Ach ba'avera shebeinan l'makom ein mutar l'saper alav afilu yishlutu kol hapratim hanal. When it comes to bein adam l'makom, it's only between him and Hashem technically. So you don't really have a heter to go around spreading something. It's not l'toeles. Ella im kein ra'o alav sha'ochez ba v'oseh oso kam upon him can be amazed. If he sees that the person is a recidivist, then you have a heter. Who davar hamaforsim lakol shuaser should be arnu davar zeh b'chol pratov. And avo bein adam l'chavero, you can afilu lo mukzak, even if he's not below meforsam. Even the averos don't have to be. You have a right to talk, to do it l'toeles. And we're talking about, the truth of the matter is, we're talking about when you tell someone something, you don't have a heter to repeat it to anyone else. They bring this down, and the truth of the matter is, I had an instance, I was consulted as a judge about another case where a woman facing divorce, one of the elements was that she didn't go to the mikveh purposely. She did it, and the husband confessed and told the Rav about the situation, and the Rav repeated it as a grounds for divorce when they were discussing, and they alleged that this was a violation of clergy penitent privilege. And when they asked me what my opinion was about when you confess an avera, if you say something privately to a Rav, and for example, I gave this example, if a baker in a community says to the Rav, I feel badly because I put lard and some chazir, mitoch alechem, does the rabbi have a duty or does he have to keep it quiet because it was a confession? If he were a priest in a confession room booth, he would not be allowed to say it. But when it comes to Yiddishkeit, hocheach tochiach, you're going to have to tell everybody that this person cannot be relied for kashrus. And so I said also, when it comes to any averos, there's no such a thing. In fact, someone confessed to Rav Tendler the fact that he killed someone, and Rav Tendler actually testified in jail that this is what the person said. So, very interesting topic, the Jewish law as it relates to when you tell someone something, you don't just repeat it. It's considered privilege in that respect. You can't just say something over. But if you tell something about an avera and you can prevent lito eles, then you have a chiyuv to tell it to prevent averos barabim. With that, I end. Everyone should have a Yom Tov.